We've created what's called a reverse timeline, which I think is quite a handy tool for someone who's considering where do I start, basically. Because what we've done is if you start at the end of the process, where you, for example, have a customer who's done a really good review online of a product, and you try and put yourself in the shoes of the business owner and the steps that they would have had to go through to get to that point. So you think about the fact that there's a supply chain, and you just reverse timeline back to the starting point and the idea. That is a good tool for someone to consider doing something like that from a practical point of view, because that, if you start thinking about the practicalities, then you'll start knowing what to think about. And that will include, for example, when you get to the beginning, something like what research do you need to do? Would you do some surveys, for example? Who's your audience? Because I think that's probably going to be the most important question.
I think that's absolutely right, and anyone can use this technique. So you don't there are so many different techniques floating around, and I think sometimes they're a bit baffling, and you feel like you have to be an economist or an analyst to know about SWOT analysis and various other things and techniques that a lot of people bandy about. But I think the reverse timeline method, anyone can do it. It's very simple. You stand in the shoes of yourself and no one else and say, what is it going to take me every single step of the way to get that happy customer and that brilliant review? And I think the other challenge to yourself right from the very outset is to say, what is my elevator pitch in a very short building with not too many floors? So what are the sort of 10 to 15 words, absolute maximum, that I can take to describe exactly what it is that I do and why I stand out? And that sounds so simple, but so many people actually struggle, and we find this all the time when we talk to people. So what does your business do? Should be the simplest question in the world. And for some of our example traders, it's I sell flowers. Great, so how do you sell flowers that makes you different? So think about how you're likely to be tested, whoever you talk to.